Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping right in, really plunging headfirst into a concept that might just change how you think about creativity
Yeah.
and originality,
Mm.
where ideas actually come from.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating stuff.
Because our source material for this deep dive, it puts forward this really radical idea, challenges the whole notion of genius we usually think about.
Right.
It suggests something, well, pretty provocative,
Yeah.
that great artists don't just create their ideas,
Mm.
they actually steal them.
Steal. It's a strong word.
It is. So that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? What if embracing this idea, this stealing, is really the secret to unlocking your own creative potential? It feels backwards almost.
It absolutely does feel backwards, and I think that's exactly why this deep dive is so interesting.
Okay.
Our source material, it's like this amazing guide. It just piece by piece dismantles those traditional, sometimes really intimidating ideas about what creative even means. It sort of cuts through all the mystique and offers these practical, really accessible ways for anyone, and I mean truly anyone, no matter your background or what you do day to day, to bring real creativity into your life and work.
So practical pathways. I
Yeah.
like that.
And you should probably expect some aha moments, because this perspective, it really can shift things.
Okay, so that's our mission then for this deep dive. We're going to unpack what this stealing creatively thing really means for us. How do you actually use it?
Right, how to apply it.
And maybe most importantly, how it can free us from that huge, sometimes crushing pressure of feeling like every single thing has to be completely, utterly original. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So, okay, let's tackle this sacred cow straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Originality. Pablo Picasso famously, art is theft. I mean, that sounds like a direct hit on everything we're taught about individual genius, right?
Yeah.
How does our source material deal with that?
It's a huge statement, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the source really leans into it. It argues pretty convincingly that nothing, absolutely nothing, comes from a vacuum.
Nothing from nowhere.
Exactly. All creative work, every single piece, builds on what came before. Jonathan Lytham, he observed that when we call something original, often it just means we don't know the references. We're just unaware of the source material involved.
So originality is just ignorance sometimes.
Kind of, yeah, or maybe just undetected connections. And it's not even a new thought. T.S. Eliot, the poet, he made this really important distinction. He said, immature poets imitate. Mature poets steal.
Imitate versus steal.
Right. He meant that the real artist doesn't just copy-paste. They take something and they transform it, meld it into something new, something that reflects their unique way of seeing things, something better, maybe, or at least different.
And you even find this idea way back, like in the Bible, Ecclesiastes. There's nothing new under the sun. So if that's our baseline, that nothing's truly new,
Yeah.
what's the upside? How does that help us when we're staring at a blank page?
Well, it's interesting. For some people, that might sound depressing, like, oh, great, all the good ideas are gone.
Yeah, I could see that.
But the perspective our source offers is actually the opposite. It's incredibly freeing. If you're truly let off the hook from having to invent something literally from nothing, then you can stop trying to avoid influence. You can actually embrace.
Embrace influence.
William Ralph Inge put it so bluntly. What is originality? Undetected plagiarism. The core idea really is that every new idea is just a mashup or a remix, a combination of older ideas.
That 1 + 1 = 3 idea, it pops up everywhere, doesn't it? Like that art school trick. Draw two parallel lines. How many lines?
Right, you've got the two you drew.
And the line of negative space between them. So 3. Or genetics. Get traits from your mother, traits from your father. But you're more than just those parts added together. You're a whole new remix.
It's a perfect analogy. You're a remix of your parents, your ancestors.
It's not just a nice metaphor. It's like how creation actually functions.
And here's the crucial part, right? You don't get to choose your biological family, but you absolutely get to choose your intellectual family, your creative ancestors.
Okay. So you choose your influences.
Totally. You pick the teachers, the mentors, the friends you hang out with, the music you soak in, the books you read, the films you watch. You become a mashup of everything you consciously decide to let into your life.
Like Goethe said, we are shaped and fashioned by what we love.
Exactly. And Jay-Z put it so powerfully, too, talking about finding fathers on wax and on the streets and in history. He said, we gotta pick and choose the ancestors who would inspire the world we were gonna make for ourselves. Choosing your lineage.
So this flips the script, doesn't it? The artist isn't some isolated genius anymore. They're more like A collector,
A meticulous collector, yeah. But not a hoarder. That's important.
right? Not just grabbing everything.
Hoarders collect everything. Artists, creators, they collect selectively. They only gather the things they genuinely love, things that really speak to them. It connects to that idea income theory. Your output is only as good as your input, the stuff you surround yourself with.
Jim Jarmusch, the filmmaker, nailed it. Steal from anywhere that resonates. Devour old films, new films, music, books. Select only things to steal from that speak directly to your soul.
That's the core of it.
If you do this, he said, your work and theft will be authentic. It has to speak to your soul. Otherwise, it's just copying.
Right. So if we want to be these thoughtful collectors, how do we actually do it? How do we gather and learn in a useful way?
Yeah, what's the method?
Well, our source suggests, starting with this creative lineage idea, it comes from Marcel Duchamp, who said, I don't believe in art, I believe in artists.
Okay.
So the practical step is pick one thinker, an artist, writer, whoever that you really, really admire. Deep dive into them. Learn everything you can.
Got it. One person first.
Then find out who they loved. Find, say, 3 people that your hero was inspired by and learn everything about them. Repeat that. Climb up the family tree of ideas as far as you can.
Like mapping the intellectual DNA.
Exactly. And once you've done that mapping, then you start your own branch off that tree.
And knowing that history, that lineage, it makes you feel less alone, maybe. Like you have these friendly ghosts kind of pushing you along.
It absolutely does. And there's an advantage to studying masters who are, dead or far away.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
They can't turn you down as an apprentice. Their lessons are all right there in their work, waiting for you to uncover them.
That connects to another point the source makes. School is one thing. Education is another. They don't always line up, do they?
Not always. Whether you're in school or not, it's always your responsibility to get your own education. Just be relentlessly curious.
So how do you feed that curiosity practically?
Well, the advice is simple. Google everything. Seriously. Your dreams, your problems. Don't ask a question before you Googled it yourself.
Good advice.
RZA from Wu-Tang said, whether I went to school or not, I would always study. That's the attitude. Constant searching. Proactive learning.
And it's not just online, right? It's about physical sources, too.
Oh, absolutely. Always be reading. Go to the library. Just wander the stacks. There's a kind of magic there.
Serendipity.
Right. And read the bibliographies in books you like. Follow the trail. John Waters said, nothing is more important than an unread library. It's about the potential, all those discoveries waiting.
So it's this constant state of searching and collecting.
Which leads perfectly to the idea of keeping a swipe file, or, as the source calls it more dramatically, a morgue file.
A morgue file. Sounds a bit grim.
Yeah, but it's evocative. It's just a dedicated place, physical or digital, to keep all the stuff you've swiped. Little notes, lines you overhear, cool images, quotes you love.
Anything that catches your eye.
Exactly. Mark Twain had a great line. It is better to take what does not belong to you than to let it lie around neglected. This file is your personal stash of dead things that you'll later reanimate in your own work. It's your creative fuel tank.
Okay, so you're collecting, you're learning, but then there's the big hurdle. Actually starting to make something. That fear can be huge.
Oh, definitely. Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, that feeling like you're a total phony, that you have no idea what you're doing.
We've all been there.
And the source is pretty blunt about it. Guess what? None of us really know. Ask anyone doing creative work, they'll admit it. They don't know where the good stuff comes from. They just show up every day and do the work.
So if we accept we don't know where it comes from, how do we even begin?
Right. What's the first step?
The source suggests that it's in the act of making things that we figure out who we are. You don't figure it out first and then make. You make, and that shows you who you are.
So it's the process itself.
Exactly, which ties into that fake it till you make it idea, not in a dishonest way, but as a way of becoming.
Like method acting for creativity.
Kind of. Think Shakespeare, all the world's a stage. You start by acting like the person you want to be. Patti Smith talked about pretending to be artists in New York with Robert Mapplethorpe, and through that act, they became artists.
Glenn O'Brien said, you start out as a phony and become real.
It's the work itself that makes you real.
Okay, but let's clarify. We're talking about stealing and copying, but we need to be clear. This isn't plagiarism, right?
Absolutely not. That's a crucial distinction. Copying, in this sense, isn't about passing off work as your own. It's like reverse engineering.
Like a mechanic taking an engine apart.
Precisely. To see how it works, to understand the thinking behind it. Yohji Yamamoto, the designer, said, Start copying what you love. Copy, 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 copy. At the end of the copy, you will find yourself.
Copying as a learning tool.
It's fundamental. Musicians learn scales. Painters copy masterpieces. The Beatles, they started as a cover band. Paul McCartney said they emulated everyone. Buddy Holly, Little Richard, Elvis. They only started writing originals to have songs other bands couldn't play.
Huh. That's brilliant. So who do you copy? And what exactly?
You copy your heroes, obviously, the people whose work you truly love, but here's the key. Don't just steal from one hero, steal from all of them.
Ah, diversify your theft portfolio.
Exactly. Wilson Misner said copying one author is plagiarism, but copying many is research. Gary Panter joked, if you rip off 100 people, everyone will say you're so original.
Okay, so copy many. But what about their work do you copy?
That's the deeper question. Don't just mimic the surface style. That's superficial. You need to steal the thinking behind the style, the way they see the world. You don't want to look like your heroes. You want to see like them.
Okay, see like them, not just look like them. That leads to the next step, right? Moving beyond just copying.
Yes. From imitation to emulation. Imitation is just copying. Emulation is when you take what you've learned from copying and it transforms into something uniquely yours.
Can you give an example?
Think of Kobe Bryant. He openly said he stole all his moves from watching videos of his heroes. But he couldn't just replicate them perfectly. He had different physical gifts. He had to adapt to them. That adaptation made them his own.
Right, or comedians.
Perfect example. Conan O'Brien tried to be Letterman. Letterman tried to be Carson. They all tried to emulate their heroes, but inevitably they fell short in some ways. And as Conan said, it's that failure to become our perceived ideal that ultimately defines us. It makes us unique. That gap is where your own voice emerges.
That's a fantastic way to put it. The failure becomes the success. Okay, so we're borrowing, we're emulating.
Yeah.
What should we actually make?
Well, the common advice is write what you know. But our source flips that. It says that often leads to boring stuff. Instead, write what you like.
Write what you like. Like fan fiction.
Essentially, yeah. The source argues all fiction is basically fan fiction. Brian Eno said his goal in making music was to create something that does not exist that I would like to listen to.
Making the thing you wish existed.
Exactly. Bradford Cox from Deer Hunter used to record fake versions of albums he was excited about before they came out, just imagining what they'd sound like. That desire, that personal taste is often where the best work comes from.
And how should we make it? You mentioned the source stresses using our hands.
Yeah, using your digits, getting physical. Computers are incredible tools, obviously, but they can create what the Radiohead artist Stanley Donwood called a sheet of glass between you and the work.
Makes it feel less direct, less tactile.
Right. So the recommendation is bring back analog tools. Pens, paper, markers, index cards, whatever. The source even suggests having 2 workspaces.
2 desks.
Yeah. One is analog only, no screens, just for generating ideas, sketching, playing around, without that temptation to hit delete or get distracted. The other desk is digital for editing, polishing, publishing.
An analog digital loop. I like that.
It helps kickstart your brain differently, gets your hands involved. It helps avoid editing ideas before they even have a chance to breathe.
That makes a lot of sense. And what about focus? Is it bad to jump between projects?
Actually, the source champions productive procrastination. Having several things on the go means when you hit a wall on one, you can switch to another without losing momentum.
Jessica Hishe said something great about that. The work you do while you procrastinate is probably the work you should be doing for the rest of your life.
It's so true. That side project you tinker with might be where your real passion lies.
We also need downtime, right? Just boredom.
Absolutely critical. You need time to just sit, stare out the window, let your mind wander. Some of the best ideas pop up when you're doing something mundane, like ironing or washing dishes.
And hobbies.
Are they important?
Hugely important. Hobbies are just for you. No pressure, no deadlines. They give but don't take. They recharge you. And don't compartmentalize your life too much. Your passions connect. As Steve Jobs said, you connect the dots looking backward. Everything you are feeds into your work.
Okay, so you've made something. Now what? Sharing it. That can be scary too.
It can be. The advice is interesting. First, enjoy your obscurity. While nobody's paying attention, you have total freedom, no pressure, no expectations.
Use that time.
Then, when you're ready, the formula is simple. Do good work and share it with people. 2 steps. And the second step, sharing. The internet makes that easy now.
Just put it online. Pretty much. The source calls the internet a place to wonder at something, then invite others to wonder with you. Don't hoard your process. Share your secrets. Think Bob Ross teaching painting, Martha Stewart sharing tips. People love seeing how things are made.
So sharing isn't just about the finished product.
Not at all. Putting your process online can be an incubator for ideas.
Yeah.
You share drafts, sketches, thoughts, and you connect with people who love the same things. It creates accountability, too, a kick in the pants to keep creating.
That community aspect seems vital. What about your immediate circle, the people around you?
Crucial. Surround yourself with smart, inspiring people. Questlove's rule. The only mofos in my circle are people that I can learn from.
I love that.
And Harold Ramis, the writer-director, his advice was, find the most talented person in the room. And if it's not you, go stand next to him.
And if it is you,
find another room. Always be learning. Curate your environment just like you curate your influences.
but what about negativity? Trolls, critics, how do you handle that, especially online?
The advice is channel that energy. Don't lash out online. Put the anger or frustration into your work. And for validation, forget rejection letters. Keep a praise file.
A praise file.
Yeah, a folder, digital or real, with every nice email, every compliment you've ever received. Don't look at it often, but on those really dark days when the doubt creeps in, pull it out for a strategic confidence boost.
That's practical. Let's talk about the lifestyle, that romantic myth of the tortured, chaotic genius.
Totally played out, according to the source. Forget that. Gustave Flaubert had the real insight. Be regular and orderly in your life so that you may be violent and original in your work.
Order fuels originality. That's counterintuitive.
It is, but it makes sense. Take care of yourself. Eat well, sleep, manage your finances. Chaos doesn't fuel creativity. Stability often does.
Which brings up the day job debate. Is it selling out?
Not necessarily. A day job can actually be incredibly freeing for a creative person. It pays the bills so you're not forced to compromise your art just to eat.
Right. Takes the financial pressure off.
Exactly. Bill Cunningham, the photographer, said, if you don't take money, they can't tell you what to do. A day job can also give you routine, structure, and connect you to the world outside your own head. All good things for creativity. Inertia is the enemy.
So routine and consistency are key. It's not about waiting for lightning bolts of inspiration.
No, it's about the slow accumulation of little bits of effort over time, showing up consistently.
Like Jerry Seinfeld's calendar method. Don't break the chain.
The perfect example, just do your work every day, mark an X on the calendar. Your only job is not to break that chain of X's. It builds momentum. Keeping a logbook helps too, just noting down what you did each day. It reminds you how far you've actually come.
And relationships. How important are they in this picture?
Absolutely critical. Tom Waits credited his wife, Kathleen Brennan, saying, she rescued me. Who you choose to partner with, romantically, collaboratively, even just friends you spend time with, it's huge.
A good partner keeps you grounded.
Grounded, supported, challenged. They offer perspective. Choosing who you surround yourself with might be the most important creative decision you make.
Okay, one last practical piece.
Yeah.
Constraints. Limits. We usually think freedom is best, right?
Yeah.
Limitless possibilities.
But that can be totally paralyzing. If you can do anything, where on earth do you start?
It's true. Too much choice is overwhelming.
Exactly. What's amazing is how often limitations actually spark creativity. They force you to be inventive.
Like the Dr. Seuss story.
Perfect. He wrote The Cat in the Hat using only 236 unique words because that was the constraint. Then his editor bet him he couldn't write a book with just 50 words. The result, Green Eggs and Ham, one of the biggest sellers ever.
Wow.
50 words.
Limitations aren't the enemy, they're often the catalyst. Jack White said, telling yourself you have all the time in the world, that just kills creativity. Embrace the limits.
So let's bring this all together for you, our listener. What this deep dive really shows us is that creativity isn't some mystical gift for the chosen few. It's not about pulling ideas out of thin air. Right. It's about embracing influence, understanding that everything builds on what came before, and it's about the practice, consistently showing up, collecting, tinkering, sharing, getting your hands dirty.
It's about freeing yourself from that impossible ideal of total originality.
Exactly. The goal isn't to become a clone of your heroes. It's to find your own voice through the process of learning from them, of stealing and remixing those bits and pieces in a way only you can.
Remember to embrace your limits. Make the things you want to see, the things you like.
That's the heart of it.
Our source material really pushes us. Do the work you want to see done. So here's the final thought to leave you with. If you really took this idea on board, that all creative work is a remix, what unique mashup, what piece of work that only you could assemble from the things you love would you start putting together today?
What would that look like?
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We really hope you feel inspired, maybe a little liberated, to go explore your own creative process with these ideas.